Cranberry, red wine, orange relish. Rings a bell. We've been hearing this term for years. Cranberry orange relish. Now this particular cranberry orange relish I'm going to make for you today, I simply adore. You can use this recipe for a number of things. You can add it to sauces. You can garnish other foods, not during Thanksgiving, of course, with this. And it's just all around nice, and it keeps for a very long time in your fridge. I'm going to walk you through this recipe quickly, and I have a few primary issues that you should be aware of that will make your relish turn out really good. First, the recipe that I've given you calls for orange zest, red wine, orange juice, and sugar. This pot, I have the 2 pounds of cranberries in, and it's heating up a little bit already. So I'm going to pour the 2 cups of red wine in, and I'm going to pour the 1 cup of fresh squeezed orange juice in, and I'm going to add 1.5 cups of sugar. You can always add a little more sugar to it. My recipe calls for 2 cups, but there's an issue with the taste of the person who's making it that I think needs to be addressed. Obviously, you want to make it as sweet as you want to make it, or maybe a little bit tartar. So I'm going to start out by putting 1.5 cups of sugar in it. And I'm going to put the vanilla extract in it. You, of course, can use vanilla beans if you want. I don't think you need to do that. There's a couple of issues here that I want to talk about. The first one is the actual cooking of the cranberries themselves. No matter how you choose to make your particular cranberry relish. I'll just mix this up a little bit here. But the important thing from my point of view is that this isn't a big pile of mush when you're done. What you want to have is cranberries that have just popped, and that's when you want to take it off the fire. And we're going to time elapse this, of course. You're going to find out that it only takes a few minutes to make the cranberry relish. Now I have, and we'll go over that a little bit more when it's finished, and I'll show you the final texture of the chilled cranberry. So this is going to be, in total, probably a 3 to 5 hour time elapse video, starting with the beginning of the cranberry. Now I'm going to turn it down a little bit because I don't want it cooking fast, and it already started simmering, right, already. Now I'm going to add this orange zest to it, and then I'm going to show you how I made the orange zest. Cooking way too fast. You don't want to cook this that fast, so let's give this stove a minute to come down. Okay, boiling this is not a good idea because you'll boil the cranberry. It'll be cooked so fast, and they'll open up and become overcooked so fast, you won't have any good, nice pieces of just barely cooked cranberry in the finished relish, which is what you want. So here I have 2 oranges that I've already zested. What does that mean? It means zest is something that you take from the outside rind, if you will, of citrus. Oranges, lemons, limes, and grapefruits would be the 4 main citrus that one would do this with. Now, the way I did that, of course, was just going like this and accumulating all the zest. See? Putting it on a plate in this case, but I can also just take it right off of here and put it right inside there also. This is still cooking too fast for me. I'm going to bring it over here. We'll finish making this orange zest here. The zest of the orange, you can also put a little bit of lemon zest in here with it if you wanted to give it that little lemony bite, but it's certainly not necessary. What I'm giving you now is a really good staple formula that's guaranteed to taste really good. I've had nothing but compliments on this for a long time. Now, in terms of making this in advance, you can make this, of course, 3, 4, 5, 6 days before Thanksgiving if you wanted to. This is a very nice preparation to give people as a present, like a pint of this or something like that. Okay, so we have the rest of the zest in there. So now it's the vanilla, the sugar, the red wine, and the orange juice. I'm going to keep this rather simple. Now, I'm going to let this cook just long enough for these cranberries to open up, okay? And I'm going to time elapse this. We're probably going to be back in about 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm going to show you what they look like when I'm dumping them out onto a pan to cool. So I'll be right back in 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. Just hold on. I want to get this where it's just ready now. See what I mean?
Nothing wrong with filming this. I'm filming it.
Okay, we're back to the cranberries. And we're kind of at the critical stage with how and when to take them off the fire. More when than how. But Richard, if you can come down in the pan here, I want to show our people something very important. Now, you'll notice that the cranberries are starting to pop and crack. And I'm getting very close. It's almost like you get it to a certain point and you take it off right away because you don't want them cooking any more than they have to. Just enough for them to open up. Just cranking the oven up, the stove a little bit now to finish this off. But I want you to see how this is cooking. You see how some of these cranberries are popped open here? Just a little bit more. This is probably the most critical part about it. I mean, how you want to flavor it. Some people put a little Grand Marnier in here or any kind of other orange liqueur. Obviously, you can put anything in here. You can put amaretto in here if you wanted to. And all right, see how it's starting to cook? We're just about there. I think overcooking these just turns them into mush. And they are right about where I want them right now. Okay? So now I'm going to take it off. Let's shut that thing off. I'm going to pour them into a dish so they'll cool. Now you'll notice that I poured them into a long, shallow dish. That's because it has a wider surface and it'll be able to cool faster. This is very important because if you pour this into a tall dish, this stuff's going to continue to cook inside because you're trapping the heat. Now, just stirring it a little bit right now even helps cool it off, you see? So now the trick is, like I said, you get it into a shallow pan, let it cool. Now you can come back to me now, Richard, if you'd like. And at this particular point, put it in the fridge, let it cool. Go in there and mix it from time to time. That even facilitates the cooling process. The longer it's hot, the more it cooks the cranberries. And you're going to see when these are nice and cool, in about 3 or 4 hours, we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how they look. And you're going to love it. So I'll see you in 3 or 4 hours. Right now, the cranberry relish has been chilling for about 4.5 to 5 hours. And it's still in that same pan that we had it in here. I'm going to taste it. It's nice. I like it. See, when I talk to you about 1.5 or 2 cups of sugar, that's because my taste is I like it a little bit tart, and some people don't, you know. But I'm going to put it in a serving dish for you now, and we're going to do a little bit of garnishing on it. And since this is a cranberry red wine orange relish, I'm going to garnish it with a little bit of orange and some chopped parsley and keep it nice and simple. This doesn't need very much help. This relish doesn't, okay? So if you come down here, Richard, I'm going to show them how to cut an orange in such a way as they get nice pieces. I'm going to start by taking the skin and the white membrane off the orange. Now, some people would think that cutting the sections of the orange out would be the way to go. I'm not real fond of that particular way of doing it, but you see I got a little bit of white membrane there, but it looks like we got it all off, okay? All right, now I'm going to cut this into slices. And then we'll cut the slices into pieces. Like that. And that's probably enough. I may have to eat that after we finish this take, I think. All right, so let's get the cranberry itself into it. Now, this serving container I think is a little bit too large, and that's why I'm changing it. Something a little more handier and easier. It takes up less space on the table, etc. Okay? That all by itself looks good. I wouldn't try to get too fancy. I might do a little bit of that. And I do a little bit of chopped parsley on it for a nice color contrast. And I would serve this just like that. And you certainly can make this just like this and put it in your fridge and pull it out when you're ready. Remember, the cranberry relish itself does not have to be really cold when you serve it. All it really has to be is good. One of the things that's here that's very present in this relish, of course, if you can come back down here, Richard, is that there are pieces, large pieces of cooked cranberry. This makes a big difference, and this is one of the biggest comments that I get on this way of making the relish, and that is the size of the cranberry. So there you have it, cranberry, red wine, orange relish. You will like it. Try it. You'll like it, as they would say. Bye-bye.